Hardcore Boxing News, and that's what's up, man.
Hey, Dad. It's a dollar bill.
And that's what's up, man. Okay, you gonna come on here and just break news just like that, huh?
This is dollar bill.
Hey, it's your boy Jay Hardcore Boxing News. What you got going on, bro? We out of here. Hey, it's your boy Jay Hardcore Boxing News. Back at you with another one today. Got my brother over here today, Ray Flores. How you feeling today, bro?
Man, Jay, I am still buzzing off of the Gervonta Davis 7th round knockout over Ryan Garcia. What an event, what a fight, what a night, what a week in Las Vegas. Two guys in the primes of their careers, in their 20s, going at it, daring to be great. Gervonta came out on top. My hat's off to Ryan Garcia for fighting hard. But look, Tank is a special talent. And if you don't know, well, in the words of the Notorious B.I.G., now you know.
For sure. Man, you were there, and man, you did a spectacular job the whole week, man. We definitely had our eyes on you, man. And as I call you, Mr. Voice, man. It was just your voice could stand out no matter where we at. You know what I mean? In the middle of a crowd, we'll know that's Ray Flores.
I very much appreciate you. It was great to be around Tank and Ryan during the promotion. Both guys class acts, both guys being very friendly to the media and to the fans. And that's not easy to do what they do because you have all these media obligations and obligations for the fans. But at the end of the day, you got to perform under the lights and you have to be ready to go. They both made weight. They both came out in tremendous physical shape, and they both went out and gave a tremendous account of themselves inside that ring on Saturday night, in which what I'm hearing is the pay-per-view numbers are insane. The gate is insane. And you know what, though? It just goes to show you that people are like, well, is boxing on life support? Well, guess what? This just proves it. And we're getting a lot of fantastic fights coming up. And I think that this is really going to set the tone for younger fighters to say, listen, dare to be great, risk your undefeated records, go for it, because the fans will appreciate you and they will support not only in watching you, but economically as well.
Definitely. And you know, when you say that, how they was real susceptible to you all, and that's kind of hard because they're trying to make weight as well. You know what I mean? So a lot of fighters, man, when they're trying to make weight and everything, they get mean, man. So for them to still stay on that top level of class, man, and that level of professionalism, that's what's up, man. I like that for sure. And 1.2 million is what I'm hearing.
So I'm hearing too. I mean, and it's there's a reason why this just goes to prove to everyone that when the best fight the best, in the primes of their careers, there is a market for it because people love high-level prize fights. And you know what? Tank and Ryan put aside their egos. They came to the table. They said, let's get it done. And everyone involved, Premier Boxing Champions, TGB Promotions, GTD Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, everyone came to the table to say, let's get this done for boxing. It was done for the fighters, but most importantly, it was done for boxing fans around the world. And the fact that these guys got the numbers that they did, this is fantastic because I think we're going old school now. I think we're going to the 80s and to the 90s and the early 2000s because everyone always says, we want to see the best fight the best. Well, here you go. And the people appreciated it. And now I think this is going to have a lot of momentum moving forward that we're going to see the best fight the best on a more consistent basis.
I guess it goes back to that old saying, if you build it, they will come.
That's right. You're absolutely right, Jay. And you know what? Everyone involved, the Showtime team, the Zone team, did a fantastic job network-wise. Everyone worked together on this, and it was a spectacular event.
It was definitely a spectacular event. And one thing about the fans, they've been clamoring for certain fights. But it showed when you give them what they want, they come and pay for it. Even with this type of era that we have now where there's so much stealing, they still did great numbers, man. So that speaks volumes.
Well, it's what I said last week during the fight week festivities is that Saturday night and the entire week was a celebration of boxing. It was a week where we could be proud as a fan base to say, look at this. These are two guys that don't necessarily need to take this fight, but they are. They're daring to be great, and they put it all on the line. And when guys put it all on the line, fans are receptive to it, and they show up in the millions, as you are seeing with the colossal numbers and the gate receipts. So I think that this is a wonderful start to the summer because people love, I mean, they love prize fighting all time, but summer boxing during the summer is special. And this is a great introduction, a great momentum builder as we head towards the late spring into the summer and then getting into the fall as well.
You're right. And, in January, I was speaking to Coach Calvin at the New York press conference. And what he said to me is definitely coming to fruition. He said, this fight is the igniter to all other fights being made because these youngins are at their prime. And they said, you know what? Let's do it right now. No marination, none of that stuff. Let's see who can whip who. And you don't get that a lot anymore. And like you said, that's like back in the 80s and the 90s, man, where they dared to be great. And when they took a O, so what? They came back, rematched, and the next time the other person might win. You never know. When you put the prime against the prime, the levels are just so close. You're never sure who's actually going to win that fight.
And what's great about boxing is that the margin of error at this level is so thin. You literally, it's not even that you make a mistake. You make half of a mistake, and there you go. You will pay for it because the other guy is so good. And what I saw, Jay, on Saturday and during the promotion is that these guys love the fact that they had to be at their best because if they made half a mistake, it could cost them severely. And Ryan did make half of a mistake. No shame on him because he's that talented. But Tank is just that special. And you're seeing that against these high-level fighters. You make half of a mistake, and that could mean the difference between a win or a loss, you having your undefeated record or you not being undefeated anymore. But that's what fans love. It's high-level drama at its finest. You can't write a better script in Hollywood compared to what we saw on Saturday.
Man, like you said, I hope this is the igniter. And what I like to see ignite before it fizzles out is Spence versus Crawford. I want that fight, man. And I hope we get that fight this year because, I'm listening to the heartbeat of the street and people are starting to get bitter about that fight. They're saying, man, I really don't even care about that fight so much. They done let me up and down so many times, man, messing with my emotions. I'm not sure if I even care about that fight anymore.
Well, if there's any extra motivation that is needed, I don't necessarily know who's in the right, who's in the wrong. That's honestly none of my business because I handle stuff behind closed doors. But I do know that as a fighter, you're looking at Tank and Ryan, you're seeing what they did. And you're like, look, we are top level guys ourselves. We want our moment in Las Vegas. And Spence and Crawford have both wanted that marquee big fight where their name is in the marquee. People don't realize how much it means to fighters because this was Tank and Ryan's first time main eventing a big pay-per-view in Las Vegas. That means everything to fighters because it means you've reached the pinnacle of the sport. And for Spence and Crawford, they got to be thinking, look what those guys did. Well, you know what? There's a market there. There's a demand there. However, the demand is only going to be there for X amount of time. If these guys want this fight and they do it in the summertime, I think it is a big fight commercially. I think from a fight fan standpoint, but it has to happen very soon, at the latest by the end of the year.
I'm 100% with you, man. I did a video today where it was a picture of Tank, Shakur, and Devin, and the title was "While You Were Spinning the Block, They Took the Block." You know what I mean? And that's what's happening right now. The 135 division is like the glamour division right now. And 147 has been the glamour division for a while. But people are getting kind of tired because that division right now is at a standstill, and everybody's looking at that 135, and it's starting to be like a household name now,
Well, look at
So
68 too. Look at what's happening at 168 pounds when Benavidez fought Plant. They're like, okay, Canelo isn't going to fight us right now. He's got John Ryder. Let's fight each other. Boom. There you go. That happened 3 weeks ago. So let's not forget that. I think everything kind of started with Plant Benavidez. Those guys went at it. Then you had Tank and Ryan. Now coming up, you got Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko. I mean, this is great that we're seeing. And bottom line is this. I want everyone to do well. I want every promotion to do well, every network to do well, every fighter, et cetera, et cetera. You know why? Because it motivates the other promotional companies, other fighters, and it's just great for business. So I'm a big NFL fan, and I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I love NFC football, but I'm not telling people, don't watch the AFC. Don't watch the Chiefs and the Bengals. Are you crazy? I love football. I want all football to do well.
You're just like me, man. I just want to see them fight. I don't care about your purse. I don't care about none of that stuff. I ain't getting none of that money, but what I do get is a chance to watch a real good fight. And that's what I clamor for. That's what I want. And that's what we've been getting lately. And that's what I hope we continue to get the rest of this year, man.
Well, look, this is what I love is that for those that said, oh, is it possible? Or this, when they want to pick sides and, oh, this side's right, that side's right, this side's wrong, or whatever, this and that. Remember Hulk Hogan when he used to go ahead and was a professional wrestler and he would do like this? Well, that's my thing. It's like, where the haters at now? Where the haters at now? Because you got what you wanted, and look, where are you at now? Oh, this fight's not gonna happen because of this person or this network can't work with this network. Well, guess what? Where you at now? Because it happened and there were monster numbers. Sit back, enjoy, and let's stop being so damn negative and be positive because the best are fighting the best. Let's sit back and enjoy the ride because a new era has dawned in boxing.
But I know you're about to get out of there and go to the airport. I got this last question to ask you. If you can have any fight right now for this year, what would that fight be for you as a fan?
Me, Canelo, and David Benavidez during Mexican Independence Day weekend in Las Vegas. Look, Spence Crawford, I think when you're asking me hypotheticals, I think that fight is close to potentially happening. I'm very optimistic. But the fight that needs to happen is Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez. I mean, that would be an all-time amazing slugfest, absolute war. Mexican Independence Day weekend in Las Vegas when Canelo wipes out John Ryder, because I don't necessarily think John has too much of a chance, and no disrespect to him. I think this is a homecoming fight for Canelo. If you're Canelo, why fight Bivol a second time? Come on over, defend your unified super middleweight championships of the world. Put all the gold on the line against a guy who's been calling you up, the Mexican monster. The best fighter that Mexico has seen in well over a decade against the Mexican monster on Mexican Independence Day in Las Vegas. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine the pandemonium and the kind of war that would be for fight fans all around the world? That fight doesn't have to happen. It has to happen for boxing. Canelo, look, he can retire. He's got a lot of money 50 times over again. But he is a competitor. David Benavidez is a competitor. Those two guys clashing, oh my goodness. Sit back, relax, enjoy whatever beverage you want because that would be something special. That's the fight that I think would really be a welcoming event for the sport of boxing. We got momentum with Tank and Ryan. If Tank and Ryan were able to do it, come on, Canelo and Benavidez. Let's see that fight during Mexican Independence Day weekend in September.
You just sold me, man. I'm reaching in my pocket looking for money.
Let's get it done. I love it. I like both guys too. And I think it'd be wonderful for the sport of boxing. But I really wonder if one particular network doesn't want that fight to happen. And I don't work for them. So I'm just, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Well, listen here, man. It's always a pleasure. Give people your platform where they can find you at. If it's somebody that's underneath the rock that don't know it yet, let them know where they can find you, bro.
All they have to do, follow me at SBR Flores on social media, Instagram and Twitter, SBR Flores. You know, when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions event, Team Combat League, the various things that I do in my career, I give you a behind the scenes look as to what we do to prepare for events, to give you fans the best possible coverage and commentary and analysis, because not only do the fans deserve it, most importantly, the fighters deserve it. These fighters are risking their lives every single time they get inside that ring. So they are gladiators to me, and there's a reason why they are prize fighters. They are world-class prize fighters. There's only a small percentage that can do it. And when they do it at that high level, let's sit back, relax, enjoy, and appreciate what they do. But I do it for the fighters and I do it for the fans because the sport deserves it, because the people before me came forth and put forth amazing telecasts night in, night out. And now that I'm in this position, that's what the fans deserve. And that's what I do, pushing myself every single night that I'm on the air.
When you all heard it from the horse's mouth, this is your boy, Jay Hardcore, Hardcore Boxing News, and my man, Mr. Flores, and we out of here.